So, I finished this fashion campaign video. It was flat. It was boring. I didn't know what to do. I went back and watched real fashion campaign videos, Dior, Saint Laurent, Versace. I realized what was missing, the energy, the camera angles, the way every shot has intention. Then Kling 3.0 multi-shot dropped, and it changed everything for me. It allowed me to direct exactly what was going on, to provide some energy into the scene. Watch this video, let me show you how I pulled it off. So, not bad, right? That's not how it started. Let's look into this. I started off generating shots. Shoes. This is a fictional fashion campaign for a luxury shoe apparel company. And the way I start everything, and I mean everything, is with an LLM. I use Claude. You can use whatever you want. But this is not a territory I know. I'm not a fashion expert. And I don't need to be, because I've got an expert in my pocket. Just hop on, type in your campaign idea, and work with it to come up with whatever you need. So here are my shoes. I got this red heel, and it had this spur on it. Very different, but it felt very high fashion. The white sandal, I don't know. The vibe of it was cool, very platformy. Gold sandal, 5 shoes total for the campaign. Now, the concept. My colleague had this idea. What if we used giant chess pieces and had the model interacting with them on a chessboard? I'd never seen anything like that, and I decided it'd be really cool, set in a desert, just this massive chessboard in a barren desert landscape, dunes in the background, sand blowing. That's something that would be really hard to pull off unless you had a big budget, or AI. This allows small mom-and-pop brands to produce something that can compete with anybody. So I fed a few prompts in. They weren't great. But this is how you start with AI. You've heard of vibe coding. This is vibe video editing. You take what you get and you work with it. You see what's working, what's not. But I ended up liking what I got, medium-sized chess pieces, and I was like, okay, I can work with that. So this one was a little too racy for me. You can't even tell that she's wearing anything, just the shoes. So I adjusted. She's wearing a flowy white dress flapping in the wind, other chess pieces visible behind her. I tried her kneeling in front of the Red Queen, begging for mercy from a different angle on the board. I wanted something that felt like she was interacting with the pieces. AI is a little weird sometimes. This wasn't exactly what I prompted, but it was such a unique looking shot. I had to use it. You actually saw this one in the video. So I had storyboard type shots. These worked okay. When I animated them, some just faded the storyboard out and showed an individual shot, not what I was after. I had seen fashion videos do there's multiple shots on the screen at once, and I don't know, when I tried doing it, it was just boring. It wasn't capturing the essence of what I was after. They were all the same. A model walking around on a chessboard. I'm looking for something dramatic. I'm looking for something dynamic. So where I ended up finding purchase was spending time concepting with image models. A model standing next to a giant chess piece. Here's more of the 50-foot tall version. Here we have a model leaning up against it. She's way smaller than the piece. That helped a lot. I fed these into Nana Banana Pro, and for each shoe, I used the same prompt with my first 4 reference images as influence. Those giant chess piece concepts. So using these as an influence, generate a photo of a fashion model, putting one foot on a chess piece in the middle of a barren desert with dunes in the background, wearing the shoes from reference image number 5, cinematic still frame, fashion campaign video. I did that for each shoe, and it chose a different outfit for each of them. That worked out pretty well. I played around with variations, upscale the image, add detail, make it look like a cinematic still frame, have the model in a different pose, vary the camera angle, focus on the shoes because this is a shoe campaign. I had an idea for a chess clock on the side of the board. The image models almost got it, but what convinced me not to go after this was none of the video models could handle the actual counters counting down. It just got random numbers, and I have a rule. I don't like things that pull you out of the video and make you go, oh, this is AI. So maybe some shots give you that vibe, but I'm doing as much as I can to prevent it. Your brain would have seen those numbers. It's not going to work. Great idea. We're not quite there yet. Then I had a concept. What if the one with riding boots was actually riding a knight? So I prompted this a few times. She's riding on top of a knight chess piece like it's a horse. Low camera angle, the sun obscured by the model with sharp rim lighting, cinematic fashion shoot. I ran these in Grok's image model. I've been really impressed with it. It's fast and great for brainstorming. Nano Banana Pro has better prompt adherence. It's very specific, but Grok is great for speed. I want to get a bunch of images out, figure out where my concept is going, and then move from there. So I'll often generate with Grok and then edit with Nano Banana Pro before I animate. So we had some great shots of her interacting with the knight. The sweep of her dress was one of my favorite shots. So here's where everything changed though. I had all these images and I was animating them. They just weren't there. The animations were very boring. So I asked myself, what am I missing? I pulled up YouTube. There's a playlist of about 100 fashion campaign videos and I watched, I don't know, several dozen of them. And I started noticing what makes these videos feel alive. It's the camera work, Dutch angles, nothing is perfectly level, handheld, shaky energy, very fast movement, low angles that give the model power, quick cuts, lens flares, and rim lighting. The camera isn't just observing, it's alive. I realized my prompts were basically model walks on chessboard. That's describing a photograph, not directing a shot. I needed to think like a cinematographer. So I went to Claude and said, I'm a fashion video director. What should my prompts look like? And together we built a system prompt. You are an elite cinematographer and fashion film director. When given any image, you generate a single high-energy video prompt. Your style DNA. You direct like a collision between Michael Bay's Chaos, Ridley Scott's Atmosphere, and a Vogue Italia editorial. Every shot has velocity. Nothing is static. Nothing is safe. The camera is alive. It flinches, whips, crashes, and breathes. This is all vibes. Vibe coding, vibe video editing, vibe directing. You give it an image, and instead of getting model stands on chessboard, you get Dutch angles, whip pans, rim lighting, sand explosions, lens flares. It's actually directing the shot. The difference was immediate. Look at this. That lens flare in the sun, her dress feeling alive, that camera tilt giving you vibes. Before, I sort of thought it was exciting. There just wasn't anything there worth talking about, but now every shot has intention. So then Kling 3.0 came out with multi-shot, and this was the other game changer. Multi-shot lets you choreograph multiple shots in a single sequence with consistent style. I could plan camera angles across cuts, opening wide, hero close-ups, detail shots on the shoes, dramatic closing shots. Before multi-shot, every shot was its own thing. You'd generate one, hope for the best, generate another. There was no continuity, no flow. With multi-shot, you're actually directing a sequence. You're thinking about pacing and rhythm the way a real director would. That's when the video went from AI-generated content to something that actually feels like a fashion campaign. I gotta tell you, this one was hard to pull off. I'm very familiar with what AI is like for videos, and getting this concept to work was more difficult than I imagined. But that's the lesson. Your first version doesn't have to be your final version. The first cut of it was boring, and if I had just shipped it, it would have been forgettable. But I went back, studied real reference material, figured out what actual fashion cinematography looks like, built a system prompt that thinks like a director, and used Kling 3.0 multi-shot to bring it all together. You don't need to be a fashion expert. You don't need to be a cinematographer. You just need to study what works and then direct your AI tools with that knowledge. The expert is in your pocket. The tools are here. You can go build something. I'll link the full workflow and the system prompt in the description. Try it out. Make your own campaign. Let me know what you come up with. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.